The summer sun casts its golden warmth over the garden, illuminating every leaf and petal, breathing life into the vibrant scene. Midsummer is that magical period where gardens can either thrive with unstoppable color or struggle under the pressure of heat and spent blooms. This is where perennial planting and flower bed maintenance step in, not just as a routine task, but as an art that transforms your outdoor space into a living masterpiece. In today's video, we're diving deep into a perennial hall planting session and unveiling expert strategies for midsummer flower bed care to keep your garden at its peak of beauty, no matter the weather challenges. A garden is more than just plants in the soil, it's a living story of care, patience, and creativity. Each perennial you choose tells a tale of resilience, blooming year after year, becoming a reliable anchor of color and texture in your flower beds. Midsummer is the perfect time to add new perennials, refresh your garden's design, and take care of the existing blooms so they continue to flourish. If you've ever wondered how professional gardeners achieve those lush, magazine-worthy beds even during the hottest months, stay with us. This video is packed with insider tips and practical steps you can start using today. The first step in our midsummer garden journey is understanding the unique strengths of perennials. Unlike annuals that bloom beautifully but die after one season, perennials return each year with stronger roots and fuller blooms. This means your garden doesn't just look beautiful for one summer, it evolves into a mature, layered tapestry of colors and textures over time. In our haul today, we've selected perennials that are not only visually stunning but also heat-tolerant and low maintenance. Think about coneflowers with their bold, cheerful petals, Shasta daisies that light up a border with their pure white blooms, and lavender with its fragrant purple spikes that attract pollinators. Each of these plants has a role to play in creating a balanced and long-lasting flower bed. When planting perennials in midsummer, timing and technique are everything. The heat of the day can stress young plants, so it's best to plant either in the early morning or late afternoon when the sun is softer. Before planting, it's essential to prepare your flower beds by loosening the soil, adding compost for nutrients, and ensuring proper drainage. A good rule of thumb is to dig a hole twice as wide as the plant's container but not deeper than the root ball. This gives the roots room to spread out and establish themselves quickly. Our first perennial pick from the haul is the echinacea, also known as the coneflower. With its daisy-like petals and striking center cone, this plant thrives in full sun and dry conditions, making it ideal for the midsummer garden. As we plant these coneflowers, we'll space them about 12 to 18 inches apart to give them room to grow without overcrowding. A quick tip here, mixing different colors of coneflowers, like vibrant purples, whites, and oranges, can create a breathtaking gradient effect in your flower bed. Next up, we're planting coreopsis, a sun-loving perennial with cheerful, golden yellow blooms that seem to dance in the breeze. Coreopsis is a fantastic choice for filling gaps in the flower bed, and its long blooming period ensures your garden remains lively well into late summer. These bright blooms pair beautifully with cooler toned plants like Russian sage or catmint, which can be added later for contrast. Flower bed maintenance during midsummer is just as important as adding new plants. This is the season when heat stress, pests, and weeds can quickly take over if you're not vigilant. One of the most effective ways to maintain a healthy garden is deadheading, the simple act of removing spent blooms. By cutting back old flowers, you encourage the plant to redirect its energy into producing new buds rather than going to seed. For perennials like daylilies, Shasta daisies, and salvias, deadheading can extend their blooming period by weeks. Watering is another crucial element during this time. While it's tempting to water frequently, deep and less frequent watering is the key to stronger root systems. Early morning watering allows plants to absorb moisture before the heat of the day evaporates it. A layer of organic mulch, like shredded bark or compost, around the base of plants helps retain soil moisture, regulates temperature, and suppresses weeds, all of which are vital for midsummer maintenance. One often overlooked aspect of garden care is fertilizing perennials mid-season. While too much fertilizer can cause excessive leafy growth at the expense of blooms, a balanced slow-release fertilizer or a diluted liquid feed can give your plants a much-needed boost during their peak blooming period. Focus on phosphorus-rich fertilizers that promote flower production, especially for bloom-heavy plants like roses or black-eyed Susans. As we continue planting from our perennial haul, we're also taking a moment to redesign parts of the flower bed for better visual impact. A well-designed flower bed has layers, taller plants like hollyhocks or delphiniums at the back, medium-height perennials like echinacea or coreopsis in the middle, and low-growing ground covers like creeping thyme or sedum at the front. This layered approach ensures that every plant gets the sunlight it needs while creating a visually stunning display of textures and colors. One of the stars of this haul is lavender. Not only does it add a serene purple hue, but its fragrance is a natural insect repellent and a magnet for bees and butterflies. Planting lavender along the edges of the flower bed or near pathways can create an aromatic experience every time you pass by. Midsummer is a great time to trim back lavender slightly after its first bloom to encourage a second flush of flowers later in the season. The final touch to any midsummer flower bed maintenance session is pruning and shaping. Certain perennials, like salvias or nepeta, benefit from a mid-season cutback, which encourages fresh foliage and more blooms later in the summer. Cutting back spent growth not only rejuvenates the plant but also keeps the flower bed looking tidy and well maintained. As we wrap up this perennial haul planting and maintenance session, take a moment to step back and admire the transformation. What was once a patch of wilting flowers is now a thriving garden full of life, fragrance, and color. The key to success is a combination of thoughtful plant selection, proper care, and a willingness to adapt to the garden's needs throughout the season. The beauty of gardening lies in its ongoing journey. Every season brings new challenges, but also new opportunities to create something truly special. By focusing on perennials and midsummer maintenance, you're investing in a garden that will not only survive the summer heat but thrive with renewed vibrance year after year. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, these steps will help you craft a space that feels alive, welcoming, and effortlessly beautiful. So, are you ready to give your garden a midsummer glow up? Grab your gardening gloves, pick your favorite perennials, and let's create a flower bed that turns heads and sparks joy every time you step outside. And remember, every bloom you nurture today becomes a lasting part of your garden's story for seasons to come.